Up until I made this video, I hadn't shot any 4K 120 with the A7S III yet, which is a little bit ridiculous. So here's a little sequence I shot covering this guy.
I see Polar Pro as a company that values functionality of a product as well as practicality. Last year we had the Peter McKinnon variable ND filter, which came with a Defender to cover the front. And then this year, we have the Peter McKinnon variable ND filter, version 2.
So I'm actually filming this after I've edited that whole sequence, and editing that was like the very first time I edited 1080 120. So nice just to look at, but now it's all super crispy and oh, so good. I don't know how I'm gonna go back to editing 1080 now, because 4K 120 is just set the bar that much higher. And in case you're wondering, that whole sequence was shot with the Sigma 24-70 and the 90mm macro. And for the most part, it was actually handheld. So I was using one hand, moving the camera around. Autofocus was on, apart from the macro stuff, which was manual and on a tripod. And then I was just moving the filter around and doing things, and let's just say active steady shot on this came in really handy. Now, the original Peter McKinnon variable ND filter lived on my camera pretty much last year, shooting anything outside. And now I think it's safe to say that this one, which is the Mist edition, will now be living on my camera. And a couple of little changes with this. So now it has haptic feedback. So when you change stops, there's a little tiny click in there. And it's really subtle, but really effective just in letting you know that you have changed stops. This is the one that's gonna be living on my camera moving forwards. This is the Mist edition. And if you're not familiar what Mist does, it's essentially a diffusion filter and a variable ND filter. The Mist part of this, the diffusion, is equivalent to an 1/8 diffusion, just gives things a nice overall glow, like a solid look for everyday use. Some halation is the technical term. By comparison, that light you can see over there, I'm using a Moment Cinebloom on the lens right now, and that's at 10%, which is the equivalent to a 1/2 diffusion. And honestly, that's a little bit too much sometimes. So this is just better for everyday use, just giving all lights like a nice little glow, a nice halation. But honestly, my favorite thing about this is the new 360 Defender that this is housed in. It just comes packaged literally in a box like this. If you want to put it on your camera lens, you just unscrew the back here, pop that on there, and then the actual rubber Defender just comes off the front, and you have not had to touch the lens at all. No grubby fingerprints on there. What's even better is, let's say you have it attached to the front of your lens and you put this on just to protect it when you're out and about shooting, and you're thinking, okay, so what do I do with this back bit now? Well, this just clips directly onto the front like that. So now you don't have any bits that are just loose that you can potentially lose. So it's great for when you're using it, and it's great for when you're storing it too. Pop that in your pocket and you're good to go. Both the Mist and the non-Mist version come in 6:9 and 2:5, so you're covered if you want to shoot outdoors, indoors, whatever you want. They have you set. All right, thanks to Polar Pro for sending those across. I'll put some links below if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Take care.